Hi, hi, hi. All right, my babies. I hope you guys are hearing me properly. I'm speaking this way because I recently moved into a house with a lot of roommates. A lot has changed, although the babies have come with me. I don't know if you guys remember the Smurf. Well, okay, so today's video is considering somebody a friend doesn't mean it's a friendship. Considering somebody a friend doesn't mean it's a friendship. This is what does it mean when you consider somebody a friend? In September, I traveled to Turkey with a friend of mine. And she talked about something in an interesting way. She talked about uh, any form of ship that she has with somebody, whether it's a friendship, relationship. What are the other types of ships that we can engage with? I don't know. But so she actually like discussed it. This is, what does a ship do? It goes from port to port, goes somewhere, and it comes somewhere. There is that exchange, that back and forth, and that's what a friendship is. It's a back and forth. There's a full engagement. Is there trust? Is there love? Is there appreciation? Is there respect? Which one matters more, or which one actually takes the cake, as people would say? I personally value friendships on trust and respect. I would rather that than friendships out of love. But says the guy that doesn't have any friendships. Funny because we all have secret agendas. I thought I was cool with my dad because me and him were kind of like friendshipy. We just can't get the image that I am his son out of his head. And so our conversations are either about something mutually interesting, or I am talking to him about what I love and he listens, or he's talking to me about the fact that I haven't seen my family in a while and this has to end. So, in a way, everyone has his own agenda in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or what other stuff. So, to consider somebody a friend probably just means that you don't anticipate them bearing their fangs on you. Now, again, there's intentional bearing of fangs, like I'm biting you intentionally, or like that was sometimes your dog might actually bite you, but it's probably because you startled them. Or sometimes they bite you and they're trying to be playful, and sometimes they do that just because they got carried away, right? I am comparing friendship to a friend to a dog. I think I value honesty in a friendship, specifically in a friend, because that's something you're able to deal with. You're able to like, depending on how you look at the ship between you guys. So let's create a base of understanding. Even acquaintances is a form of relationship, right? Like he's my workmate is different than he's my friend. He's my classmate is different than my friend, or she's my classmate, or she's my workmate. He's the server at the restaurant I go to is also a relationship. He's the person that tends to the building is also a relationship. And relationships are go from something very basic, very standardized, very socially acceptable, like this is the behavior between it, to something very personalized. Now, I feel a friendship is the most personalized out of them all. Yeah, marriage is a relationship. right? Doesn't necessarily mean you and your spouse are friends. It just means you respect. It could mean you respect each other enough to be in this together and to have that goal for the future and all that good, cute stuff. The idea is, how do you differentiate a friend from the relationship itself? And the minute I mentioned friend, the second thing that came onto my mind is an enemy. So what's the difference between a friend and an enemy? Why the hell am I asking myself these questions? Okay, so considering somebody a friend does not does considering somebody a friend, but does it mean it's a friendship? It doesn't necessarily mean it's a friendship. But what does considering somebody a friend mean? That's a big question. Reliability, trust, but you're not trusting them. I think trust in their character. I think trust in their character is respect. No, trusting in their character doesn't necessarily mean you respect their character. It just means you believe, you trust that's how they are. And even if they're being assholes. One second. Yeah, sorry. And even if they're being assholes, being able to trust in their character, I think is uh, I think is a bond. And that probably is what would consider somebody a friend. That trust is what creates like that friend understanding in them. I keep going back to the to like how best friends kind of like know each other, right? Like they completely understand how they tick, they work, they completely understand how their expressions, their impressions, and all these kinds of things. I'm using that because that's an extreme. But also, if you read history books, like one of the first things that generals do is basically get to know their enemies. So in a way, they develop that friend in the other side, specifically so they'll be able to like deal with it and handle it. So what does considering somebody a friend mean? Considering somebody a friend. Honestly, just trusting in who they are, whether that's what they're showing you or not. Or maybe a friend is is somebody that shows you something and you trust that that's who they are. I think that's what a friend is. And the funny thing, because like, are you not trusting that's how they are because you have doubts, or because their expression of that is shaky, off, right? Like I reflect on all my cousins that basically none of them is a friend of mine. I mean, naturally they're not enemies, they're family, but none of them is a friend of mine. I reflect on a lot of people that I know that I see a friend in them, but never really developed a relationship to stabilize that friendship. Yeah, it's the back and forth between you and a friend that creates a friendship. But ultimately, considering somebody a friend is understanding their position and trusting how they will act in that position depending on certain scenarios and environments. Am I looking too deep into it? Not at all. I think it's a valid approach given how modern society has become a lot more psychopathic in structure. I did a video of this like a couple of days back. Because the idea is we're always trained to understand things better. And the smarter you are literally means you're not allowing your emotions to take the best of you. And the only way you can do that is by instinctively being able to rationalize and create a logic behind how you feel. And maybe the difference between a true psychopath and like psychopathic behavior is just that feeling. It's like reasons directly. Is this, reason is basically subjective to how you see the world or how you interact with it. Ah, that's actually pretty huge. I thought reason was logic is common, but reason isn't. I think logic is a standardized approach to everything, but reason isn't. But hey, I think if you give anyone time, we'd be able to find a friend in them. And then the investment would be if we give everyone their time, right? Like if you're meeting somebody, even 5 minutes, that's enough for you to establish what could possibly be a friend in them. But whether you want to invest in that relationship or not might actually turn it into a friendship. Yeah, I think that's good enough. It's a video. Woohoo! Bye.